Smash that like button, man. Screenshot that shit. Send it to the Giants coach. Let's get to it. You know what I'm talking about? Doing a ring dance. Let's get into it. Let's get into the conversation tonight. Bye. Hi. Let's get into it right now, man. You should be doing two things, man. If you're not in the shot, have a shot to get into these offs, or you didn't make the offs, then what you should be doing is getting ready for the off season. You know what I'm saying? Something got to be part of the offs for you. Playoffs or off season. You know what I'm talking about? Got to get into one of those situation modes. Yeah, run that thing out, baby. Run it out, baby. Run it out. As y'all can see, the 72 Miami Dolphins team has popped their champagne tops. Those that are still alive for that team that are remaining on, they still popping their tops right now. They saying nobody has been able to do what we have done. We're going to continue to keep this record book going. There is not one undefeated team left in this league. Man, going undefeated is hard to do in this league, especially winning it all. To go pretty much 20-0, very hard to do. But as you can see, there's no, when you're looking at the standings, there's nobody that has a win, that has no losses right now. Everybody is in the loss column. It's nice showbiz. All right. All right, fellas, let's get to it, right? Here we go. NFL standings. To close out that thing, 49ers showed up for a gift but couldn't play. Ain't the only one. Oh my God. Alright, so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers still hold the #1 spot in the league. All year long, they have played outstanding football, scoring 847 points, only giving up 337. They won 8 games on the road, and they also won 8 games at home. They've been the #1 team since about week 3. The Ravens, and they have the Z. They have the NFC smash locked down. Everything goes through Tampa Bay. As long as they win, they'll be winning at home until Super Bowl time. In the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens 16-1. Everything goes through Baltimore. As long as they win, they will be playing in Charm City until the Super Bowl. The #3 team in the league is the New York Giants. They won the NFC East once again. The Arizona Cardinals are the #4 seed, who won the NFC West for 7 straight years. The Buffalo Bills win the AFC East, and they have the #5 spot right now, which is 12-4. Good job by them. The Broncos won the West, the AFC West. I think out of 7 times, they won it 5 times. New England Patriots are the 7th team in the playoffs from the AFC East. They was rocking out. They got 3 teams in. Here's the 2nd team. Patriots are at 7. At 8, you got the Jaguars, who won their division for the 7th straight time. with a Y next to them, 11-6, coming off a 1-game loss. But there are 706 points scored by them. That's a lot of points scored by Jacksonville. They're putting up points this year with young King Sanchez. The Miami Dolphins have the number 9 spot on Smash, 12-5. They are in the playoffs as well, giving us 3 teams from the same division in the AFC East. The Bears have the division locked down again. That's not 7 times that the Bears have won the NFC North. Now, on the outside looking in, but should be in playoff situations because 14 teams go. We got 10 guaranteed in. Let's make that 11 down here with the number 13th team in the league, the Browns. They are sitting at 10-7. They will have the 7th seed no matter what. Vikings are 10-7. They did beat the Packers, right? Packers lost twice, 2 games in a row to the Raiders and the Vikings to pretty much kill their chances of being in the playoffs. But then you're looking at the Cowboys, who just comes off a 3-game winning streak. I mean, you gotta think about it. We were just like, Snake's not around. We don't know what the fuck's going on with him. You know, he's part of 3 guys that don't be in chat with us no more for whatever their obvious reasons is for. Snake better knock it off. I haven't had him on a show. He ain't co-hosting in a while. I don't know if that's a lock-in thing or, you know, niggas in their feelings, whatever the case may be. He ain't around. But I do know this. He won 3 games and he won it by playing old snake ball. Them Cowboys, them cake boys decided we getting back in the playoffs. Nobody kicking us out of baseball. Out of baseball. I'm reading his name. Out of the playoffs. We gonna get out of the playoffs. We're gonna be on our own. They did the unthinkable, man. They won 3 really major games, beating the Washington football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, who was a hot football team, and then beating the undefeated Tampa Bay Buccaneers week 18 to solidify their spot in these playoffs. Simple as that, because I think that got them in. Those type of wins, I think it got them in. The Vikings stay sticky all year long, and they already were in the playoffs, so as long as they don't lose, they should not get bumped out of the playoffs right now. Alright. Most improved team. Alright. I'm going to narrow it down to my 3 that I thought was the most improved teams of this year. Alright. What's going on? So my most improved 3 teams that I thought played at a high level all year and I think is deserving to be recognized on that high level of playing all year long. Played every game. Was locked in. You know, they didn't shy away from no type of competition. They struggled and then turned it around, right? I feel like you gotta tell a story of why I picked these 3 teams and why I think these 3 teams deserving of this award right now. Alright, so it's going to be funny that I'm saying the Philadelphia Eagles are one of those 3 teams because the Philadelphia Eagles have had success in this league, has been a playoff team in this league. In fact, they made the playoffs 2 years in a row. The last 2 playoffs runs we had, they were in the playoffs. They were part of that 4 teams in the NFC getting in. And then they made it the second time right behind that. And got a win in the division to get themselves to the divisional round and play a close game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before they lost out. Alright, so I got the Eagles as one of my top 3 most improved teams, and I'll explain why. Let me just get through the teams first, right? Alright, so as we look down and we keep going through these teams, and I'm looking for another team. And I'm looking, 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 and I'm going right here to the Tennessee Titans as one of my most improved teams. Alright, so that's the second team I'm going at right now. So then we keep going back up, and obviously y'all heard me talk about this already. So I'm going right here to Seahawks as my 3 most improved teams, and here's why I deem those guys to be the most improved teams. Alright, let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles. Matter of fact, let's start with the Tennessee Titans and why I got them one of my most improved teams. Alright, so as a head commissioner, when you run a league and you got users in your league, right? And those users in your league, no matter if they're good players or not good players or whatever we want to call those players, but they don't miss nothing. They're active. They play all their games, win or lose. They listen to the to the shows all the time. They listen to advice. You see them doing things, maybe they might be doing things wrong that they don't realize they're doing wrong, and as they're listening to our shows and we giving out keys and advices and things like that, they start to make the right moves, start to do some things, start to see visions other than their own, and then put those two visions together and start to make things happen. I think you gotta look at the Tennessee Titans as one of those teams. I thought starting the league off, I watched their direction. This is one of the one of those coaches that I kind of had under my wing coming out of the end of real draft, and kind of helping them out, showing them the ropes, doing work with them, and things like that. And and coming into Game of Thrones, he kind of was doing his own thing, and was watching him. I pay attention to everybody. It's my job too. Pay attention for the most part to everybody. I was watching his direction, and at times it looked like he was stuck in the same patterns of having good draft picks and picking speed, skill players every single time, and just not really doing the right things to put his roster together. And then it clicked, and then you saw him come out of a top 10 pick. And get good players on his roster, and I just think he started to turn it around development wise. And I don't think you have to win ball games to be in the most improved team, one of the most improved teams, right? I just think you have to do things to show that you're improving. And when I take a look at their roster and their direction and things that they've been doing lately, to me, I think this is where their improvement is at. You don't have to just win games on the field. You have to be able to win games during the off season and during GM stages, right? Things that you do to make your team change and be in a situation where you can get comfortable with your team. And I think the one thing they had a problem with was trying to find a quarterback. We watched these guys draft quarterbacks 2 drafts in a row. We just trying to figure it out, and I think they did figure it out in a big time trade they made with the Minnesota Vikings, and I think they finally got a quarterback in that they can actually play with and develop and go on. He's only 25 years old. He's an X Factor guy. I think they brought their signal caller in now. I also saw, when they drafted this running back in the top 10, Jalen Hayden. This was I don't know if it was top 10 pick, but this was a really special pick during a time where we were talking about this team. They got damn, Max, what's the running back name that comes with them? Derrick Henry. They got Derrick Henry over here, and the first season they were giving that man 20-30 carries a game, and he was beating the Jaguars, and giving his division problems when he went to that run game. And then it kind of lost his window of Derrick Henry, kind of stopped running and was kind of getting into the passing game a lot more. But they saw that. They saw their little window that they lost with the strong run game over here that they could have had. And then they picked up Jalen Hayden. And, the moment they got this guy, I think they started to use him the way I thought, Derrick Henry should have been used. They also traded for Tyson Williams. Now that Tyson, 30 years old, he drops because he wasn't productive for him. When they did make this move, it was a good 1-2 punch to have. You had a, very special running back that did a lot of special things in this league for the Cardinals, especially during playoff times. But when you start to look at the roster, you start to look at them putting stuff together. This running back definitely is not a running back that you can look at and say out of the top 15 to 20 backs in the league. Since he's been in the league, he's been a double-digit scorer, somewhere between 14 to 1,500 yards every season, and they give him the football. These are a lot of carries. It's good carrying for a guy that should be running the football. They also heard us during one of the shows, and we talked about they got to build the offensive line, all right? And they heard us and they started to do that. So now you look at the line, to me they're going to be in a good situation going into real draft. They can take this thing out. 24-year-old superstar, right? You look at the line, 25-year-old. They finally did it. They traded the Cardinals for 2 linemen, and they got 2 superstar linemen from the Cardinals just to move from out of the top 10 to back of the draft. and they still was able to use that first round pick, second round pick, third round pick, all the trades they made, all the draft picks they moved, they was able to still keep a first and second because of how our draft is designed and our picks and the way we could trade draft picks is designed. They didn't lose much, but what they did do is they got themselves an offensive line. As you can see, there's nobody older than 25 years old starting for this team. Every last one of them are superstars. They even got depth over here. Alright, so now that they got depth at the offensive line, they put themselves in a situation where they can look at their offense, right, and say what type of team we want to be going forward. It's 2 tight ends over here, 3 actually, you know what I mean? They got the roster now. This roster, to me, you can look at it, and even at the receiver position, they got speed. They went and picked up Demir Burns, a proven receiver in this league. They got good talent at the receiver position. So offensively, this team is in a situation where we looked at this roster. I would say season 3, 4, and 5. You know, we were looking at this roster like, what the fuck are they doing over here? And through the advice of us giving out advice to guys through shows and things like that, he turned it around, completely turned it around. So he can look at his roster right now, and the next step for this kid is to just sit here and say what type of offense we want to be. Because I think they have everything they need to do anything they want to do over here. I think you know, once you look at the fact that you built the offensive line, you know, we talked about this last night. You heard Hoodie scream it last night. You have to better build your front 5 up front. You got to get that offensive line taken care of before you can do anything in this league. Well, he has that now. So now you can decide, you know, Los can literally decide what type of offense he want to be. So if he, you know, if he's a turnover guy because he's throwing the ball too much and all that, he has the opportunity now to become a run team. A running team to pass. So I like that. Defensively, I just think they did all the right moves. They're starting to do. Let's see what they did defensively. Offensively, I think they're set to take themselves into a direction to try to be a little bit more successful. They are in a situation where they can, you know, they got the roster to be able to compete with the Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars over there. All right, so they do got a good pass rusher. They got a veteran over here. They got some younger guys over here. They still got Julius Woodbury, so they do got shit that they can deal with over here. Sheldon Carmichael. You see over here D tackles. Just keep looking through the roster, and I think the reason why I want to call them the most improved, one of the most improved teams, is because I seen where this team was to where it is right now, and it could have been a disaster, and he turned it around. He did not take the you know, criticism as, you know, getting played out. He took it and used the critique and then decided to move in a way where he saw some of the vision we spoke about and his own vision. And I just think it's going to get better for him, and they're going to put themselves in a situation where they can get back to how they, you know, felt season 1, where they were competing with the Jaguars and the Colts over in this division. Period. Now, you got to think about it. These guys moved a really good corner. They had a cornerback that was on this roster that the Cowboys got now. And they brought in another corner from that trade that's only 26 years old, right? So they got 3 players for 1, which helps them out tremendously going forward. So again, I think the roster is set. Now all the Jaguars, in my opinion, have to do is figure out what type of scheme will work for them offensively and defensively, and work on mastering that scheme. And I think that turns into wins, and it turns into better play in your division, and it turns into being able to look at your roster and say, you know, I did the right things, and because I did the right things, I'm benefiting from them right things and being rewarded with winning more games, especially in my division. So I like the Tennessee Titans, and shout out to Los for turning it around. All right, so the next team I'm going to talk about is the Eagles. You know, I said the Eagles because they had a lot of success, but you would think I would want teams that haven't had success and want to put those teams up here for most improved and all that. Nah, it doesn't mean because you win and you been in the playoffs and all that that you can't be a team most improved. Now, the Eagles' most improvement and their downfall to them not playing up to their ability or looking at themselves as one of the better teams in the NFC East is really handmade. They did it themselves. Everything they did, they put it to themselves. They did all that shit themselves. Right? So if you could build holes for yourself and put yourself in a serious bad situation, right? and claw your way out of that situation means a lot. So I'm giving them the most improved team because they were a disaster a couple seasons ago, and I'm gonna take a where we talked about this Eagles team at the end of the year. One year they maybe three, they wasn't even in the playoffs, so it might have been 3 seasons ago, and we was like, what the hell happened to this Eagles team? Like, they were one of the better teams. They were the standard in their division. Guys were moving off of the moves they made in year one when they got Deshaun Watson and Jamal Adams, and they picked up Marcus Peters, and they used those 3 first-round picks to move things around a bit to put themselves set for a few years. And then he started to see what's going on. No development over here. Their players aren't developing at all. And himself started looking at his team like we're the worst team in the NFC East. We're losing to these guys because they got better teams than us. He ain't blame anybody. Put his head down, made it himself. And then you saw last year, he goes and drafts a quarterback again after drafting a quarterback the year before when he was starting to get ready to move on for Deshaun Watson, who he had playing top 10 football the entire time he's been in Philadelphia. And you saw some holes. We looked at guys like Von Savage, and they were still 82 overalls, and he came out of the first draft class, and it was like, how? To him turning it around, to him being a 95 overall now. Like, these are things that questions that we had. Like, this is your fault. You're not developing your team. The reason why you're not looking at your team like the rest of the guys over here in your division looking at their teams, because it's you yourself. You're self making this issue, not no one else. Like, to hopping off the draft after the draft, hopping off, feeling like he make a good pick, didn't get anything he really wanted. It was all types of shit, and you wouldn't notice because he's successful. He's been in the playoffs. He's been in the playoffs the last 2 seasons, and possibly about to be in the playoffs again. But because he blew things up at the wrong time, in my opinion. The whole thing started with the quarterback, right? Their quarterback that they drafted the year before is sitting on a Jaguars roster, King Sanchez, right? But they went all in with a quarterback that we all clowned the pick. We all, said this was the wrong thing. You had Madden more holes at the D tackle position, holes everywhere, and you went and got another quarterback in the first round when you got a guy on your roster that's kind of the same way. So the talk was down. They were playing bad football to start the season off with. At one point, they were even talking about going into tank mode. And he had people telling him that, look, man, tank out this year, tank and develop your quarterback, bro. Tank and develop your quarterback. He heard it from me, he heard it from Falk, he heard it from a couple people telling him to tank and just, build your quarterback. And he said, I'm going to build my quarterback, but I don't know about all that tanking shit. And he fought through all that shit, man. To me, the reason why he's the most improved is because this guy did it his way. He took a quarterback that, he trusted, that he wanted, a player that he wanted, he thought would be perfect for what he was trying to do going forward, and then he stuck with it and ran it out with it. And when we look at the advance, we might be looking at a team that clawed their way back into the playoffs for the 3rd time. So I like his improvement. I think that they were at a slippery slope. The NFC East is built so well over there that one slip up again with this Eagles team, and they could have put themselves 2 or 3, set themselves back 2 or 3 seasons. While all the rest of the teams were trending up, he was at a standstill. And I think he fought his way through that. But it's a testament to, if you don't have the same teams these guys got in your division, but yet you still keep winning ball games, I don't think he realized how good of a coaching job he's been doing as a coach. Because you're not winning on the off season. You're not winning in free agency. You're not winning in the draft the way you would like to be winning, like the other teams in your division. But yet you keep still winning games. You're still winning. You've still been a playoff team. So, the coaching part to him was already there. Like, he's a really good coach. In fact, I think he's a better coach than some guys give him credit for, and some guys that don't think he's a good coach, he's a better coach than them, in my opinion. But the improvement was almost in the same light as the Tennessee Titans. I think their improvement, most improved for me, would be, developing their team, finding a way to learn how to develop your players while they're on your roster already, whether they play or don't play. and off-season moves, drafts, trades, things like that. I think, he got better in that department. So the coaching is there already. So now when you got the off-season stuff and the GM and the building your team, when that comes, what happens when you put both of those together? What are we actually going to really see out of this Eagles team? So I got them as one of my most improved teams, right? But they're my most improved teams: Tennessee Titans, Philadelphia Eagles. But the most improved team that will be getting my gift from giving him for being the most improved team starts right here with the Seattle Seahawks. Period. All right. Correct me if I'm wrong. We watched Harold go through a game where somebody put 100 points up on him. Am I wrong? And I want to say the Saints did. Correct me if I'm wrong. We watched him come in and guys try to take advantage of him not knowing shit right away. Here's the thing. He came in. He don't know what's going on in franchise mode. Played franchise mode ever. Never played it. Comes in my league, joins it, and one of the toughest leagues. He's in franchise mode, and, he doesn't understand the ins and outs, the ropes. Guys is in his DM trying to tear his fucking roster up, get all his good players off his team and all that. He stood still. He said, "Nah, I'm not wrong. It was the Saints." All right. It's hard to sit through big score games that you're on the losing end of. Week in and week out, from season 1 to about season 3, 70, 60, 70, every fucking advance, every time you pick up the stick. And it's not because you're not a good coach and you don't know football. It's just you don't know franchise mode yet. Then, not only don't you know franchise mode, you don't know my league and how things are a little different over here, the way things go, right? You don't understand too much of anything. And the guy that brought you in the league is not, putting you down in none of this shit, not helping you out, not doing things. You've gotten some advice from me. I'm hearing, you're working with the Bucks a little bit. You paying attention, you're asking questions, and you start to get things right. I seen you stop trading and stop making the wrong move trades and really sitting there analyzing and visualizing your team. But the thing I like with you is the one thing you did do good at that nobody else probably paid attention to, but I did, was you never really missed on your draft picks. So those losing seasons equated to you putting a really good football team together where you have one of the best rosters in this league, because you did the right things. If you're going to pick in the top 10 every year, you better pick the top 10 every year. You better pick those type of players that can change your roster. So the first thing you did was went and got your quarterback. Now, I don't know if this was a trade or free agency, but Sam Russell was a really good quarterback over there for Pittsburgh Steelers. He is now on your roster. You got a 26-year-old quarterback that you can do a lot with good speed. You could do some things with. He could throw the football at 98 throw power. You got that. The running back you had, we've been told you what you was doing over there with this guy. He's a stud. He was one of the better running backs in his draft class 5 years ago. He can catch the ball out the backfield and can run. And the way you play offense, you need a guy that can catch the ball from the backfield. You go get your bigger back, Brandon Jacobs, to be able to run power game for you. And what I mean by bigger, he don't have to be 240 pounds, but break tackles is 93, trucking is 92. Stiff arms is in the 90s. That's a power back. That's a guy that you can get clean yards with, 4 yards here, 5 yards here. So you put that together. And at the end of the day, man, the fact is this: you built your team through the draft. You made the right trades. You started to understand things. You asked the right questions, and you kept your head down and you stayed at it to the point where you were one game away from the playoffs this year. And you got plenty of time for that playoff run to happen. And the fact is, I don't believe that you're not going to make the playoffs. I think you will be making the playoffs real soon. Remember, we got a long time left of the plan in this league. This league won't be over until it's time for the new Madden to come out, right? So you are in a situation, young talent everywhere. One of the fastest linebacker cores in the game. Secondary is legit. I mean, really, all you need to do is plug and play, and anything else you get is luxury. And you got the room where you can look at your roster and then do what I do: send some players anywhere else just to get draft picks or get whatever you want. You put yourself in that situation. But the fact that you won during the off season, right? You've been winning for a while during the off season, and the fact that you have started to win on the field. When we started this season off this year, two guys in our chat was like, the Seahawks is going to win games this year. And one of them is the guy that win, you know, all the damn Super Bowls for the most part, right? The Cardinals. Flat out said the Seahawks going to upset some guys this year. Trying to tell you he a different team. And then the Eagles coach said it. The Seahawks is going, I'm trying to tell y'all he going to upset some guys this year. And then we saw it all year long. So to me, you're the most improved team, most improved coach, most improved everything when it comes down to the league. So I guess you're the standard. And if I'm looking for users to play in my league, this is what I'm looking for. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's all about if you're having fun, you have a good understanding of what this league is, you buy into what our league is, and you put your head down and you do what you gotta do, and play your games, all your games, right? And you in tune to everything. There's not a better user than a guy like you. So I salute you. I appreciate you being in my league. You always got a spot in my league as long as you playing Madden. You're the user that, you know, make me get up every day to do this shit, bro, and go hard and, you know, listen to guys bitching to me in my DM all day long. Because I know on the other end of that is a guy like you running around that, you know, that just play, ball out, do what you gotta do, and continue to get better. And the more you play over here, the better you gonna get, guaranteed. So, and the fact that you I'm giving you my most improved team over here, off air I'll holler at you and tell you what I'm giving you gift wise, but it's gonna be more than one gift. I'm a multiple gift you over here, and set you up really good, man. So congratulations to the Seahawks, man. Appreciate you balling out right now, man, and doing what you're doing right now. Y'all guys got another guy in your division that's the same way. That's coming up at the same time right now, and that's the Rams coach, Coach Bo over there. Is the same way. So just so y'all know, just putting it out there now, man. They don't count their losses; they count how they can get better. And shit's happening over here. So how I'ma holler at you before it's all said and done. And I'm gonna set you up real good, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Keep rocking out, man. All right, fellas. That's my most improved team of the year right now. Now let's get into what's the real get into's right now. As y'all know, week 18 is here. What I did say was those that played their week 18 games, I will gift them. Now I wrote in the chat what it was going to be. I'm gonna reset a contract for y'all. So that means whoever's up for a contract right now on your roster that you choose outside of a quarterback, that's, you know, might be somebody asking for a whole shitload of money. You know, I'm gonna set their contract back. They'll start their shit over at four years and 1 year. You know, reset it. So it'll be, instead of 4 and 4, they'll be ready to set over, and you don't have to worry about paying them a dime. So they're going to get a free 4 years. All right. That's those that played their game. So if I look through the schedule right now, and I'm telling you now, if you played the computer, you're good. Because it ain't your fault that guys ain't play. Aims too much now. You be switching up to this. It ain't your fault, right? So if you played the computer, and let's just get this straight right now, fellas. Once you aren't available to play your game, if you know you're not going to be available to play a game, I need you guys to start doing y'all training and shit. Get your training done and your scouting done before that, because the way this league is set up, not the league, the way the game is set up now, it is super important for guys to play every game. Reaching goals, staff points, things like that are very important, and I shouldn't have to not be able to get staff points or reach my goals because you can't play. Right? So because of that, if you forfeit a game and say you can't play it, that person has the right to play your CPU. So it's your job to get that shit done right away. If you know you can't play, get on this motherfucker and do the things you got to do. Train your team, whatever you got to do. Set those shits up. Do your scouting. Get all that shit set up before you not playing that week. And then, you know, guy plays the computer. Because I'm not going to stop anybody from playing the computer. It's just that it's that important for guys to play all their games. And if you are a guy that play all your games, you know what I'm talking about. You know how important it is to hit goals and to reach goals in your games, and what it does for you for our staff points and building your team. All right, so let's get that out the way. That's why I'm saying if somebody played the computer, it is what it is. you can't do nothing about it. You can't stop it. This is not real draft last year where it was like, nope, guys can say no to you playing their computer. Now it's not the case at all. You're not gonna be able to do that shit at all. Let's talk about week 18 and some of these games that was played though. I guess we got to start with the motherfucking Cowboys and the Bucks right now. Them Cake Boys did some shit coming down the season. Apologize, fellas. Waiting for my shit to key in real fast. The Cowboys won 3 games in a row to look like they clinched themselves a playoff spot right now. So let's get into it. Let's see what they did in this Cowboys-Buccaneers game. 27-21. Cake Boys going to Tampa Bay and pull out a dub right here. All right, so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive yards gain had 396 in this game. The Cowboys 265. The Cowboys outrushed them 137-38. The Bucks threw the ball 358 yards in this game to 128. Cake Boys really just had a balanced offense and defense. Wasn't really spectacular, but it was enough. 11 first downs to 13. 2 turnovers to 4. Do I gotta go any further? You see where the game was lost at right now. It looked like the Bucks decided they wanted to throw the ball this game and not really run it. And what happens when you ain't got a run game going with that throwing? 4 picks, 4 turnovers. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like you ain't just dotting motherfuckers up. You need that run game to dot motherfucker up. That's all I'm just saying. I'm just calling it what it seemed to me. Am I wrong for saying this right now? We don't see no Ruggs going crazy. I mean, you only had 38 yards rushing. That means you probably ain't give him no carries. He probably had under 9 carries in this game. So he was on some drop back and fling that shit because I'm playing the Cowboys. And what a surprise. If I ain't cheating up for the run, that field ain't, them windows ain't as open as you thought they would be. Let me find out right now. I don't know, but I know 18 minutes, 34 seconds to 13:26. He didn't kill him with the time of possession, but he won it. All right, Jerry Bradshaw had 114.9 QB rating. We don't never see Bradshaw throw a lot of picks right now. He was sacked 3 times and threw 2 picks in this game. 387 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Cake Boy didn't do pretty good at all. He had a 47.2 QB rating. Usually when you're rating that fucking terrible, you lose the ball game. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He wasn't sacked at all, I don't think. No sacks, I don't see. Sacked twice. All right, rushing game right now. Cummings had 26 carries for 92 yards, 3.5. It wasn't spectacular, but it was enough to get the job done. Because he didn't score a touchdown either right now. Like what I say, Jaleel Ruggs, 9 carries. He ain't having a lot of carries right now. So when you dropping back, throwing the ball all game long, you're not really running it, and you're a team that throw really well off the run, and you're not running, it's not the same. The windows start to close a little bit. That tight end motherfucker running that corner ain't as open as he would be if it's a play action involved, and a nigga think you running the ball. I'm just saying, I don't know. But Jaleel had 9 carries. I don't know why he did my boy like this though. Jaleel Ruggs, last game of the season, you want to get that man 9 carries? What we doing over here? Sidney Cake had 22 yards, rushing 5.5, and Daquan DeVoe, a little midget, 2.3. Mighty Mike, 2 carries, 23 yards, 11.2. Here's the touchdowns right here through the little guy right here. I'm going to tell you like this, man. Steak always picks some shit up or draft something that we don't expect or nobody else is looking at, and he makes that guy a fucking problem. Because the little midget right here running behind that 6'8" line across the board, you can't see it. And them fast-ass linebackers probably running right by him. Oh, shit, he got the ball? Man, how the fuck this little ass nigga got the ball? That's how I was. I'm trying to tell you. For him to sneak by you for 11.5 yards a carry, both his carries was touchdowns. Both of them. To the crib! He's loose! Damn, if I'm fucking... I'm gonna tell you like this. If I'm the Eagles and my cousin is the person that can help me get in the playoffs, and he go out there and lose a game that nobody would expect him to lose, I'm calling him and saying, yo, did you do this on purpose, bro? Fuck, you don't like me or something? Like, what type of shit you want? You don't want to see me in the playoffs. That's what it is. I don't know what it is, but he ain't have a good day at all. 5'5" at 176 pounds, 2 touchdowns, 2 carries. In the receiving game, you can't stop 99 Regions. I don't give a fuck how many times he just on some straight drop back throwing the ball. He's a monster. 8 catches, 165 yards, 20.6 a catch, 2 touchdowns in this game. Ruggs had 5 catches for 93 yards and a touchdown as well. Darden followed up with 4 for 76, and then Keon Slaughter had a touchdown out the backfield. I mean, as the tight end over here on this team. Let's go look at the defensive side of things, see what happened in this game. The guy that led the team in tackles, both teams, was Tyler White. This was a good linebacker game. Both these two teams had really good a group of linebackers, really fast linebackers too. We did see 5 sacks happen in this game. Let's count all 5 of them. Tyler White, the middle linebacker, with a sack. Myles Garrett, old ass, had a sack. Thad Carmichael, the free agency pickup, great free agency pickup a year ago, had a sack. Zion Ali from the safety position, 6'3", 210, comes down and get a sack. And Kenny Mack Jr. had a sack in this game. They're all 5 of your sacks. Now let's look at the INTs that was thrown in this game. Junior Bonds, nice pickup. He traded the Seahawks for this guy. Seahawks had him on his roster too. Remember that. Keep telling y'all that man did a good job. But Bonds is over there for the Cowboys putting in work. Solo Savage had a pick in this game. Murphy Button, the veteran, had a pick. Zay Holiday also had a pick. That's how that game ended up. The Cowboys stopped the Buccaneers from finishing the regular season undefeated 27-21. Alright, so let's dig into the Steelers and the Lions and see what happened here, fellas. The Steelers and the Lions, man. Junkyard shows up, 419 total yards, 381. 25 on the ground to 131. My boy Camden Mann was putting in Twerkies guaranteed. 394 passing yards to 250. Wise Montana throwing that thing around the park. 22 first downs to 20. 443 total yards to 393. No turnovers for the Lions. 2 turnovers for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lions win that game 31-28. It was a 7-7 ball game the entire time. The shit went into overtime, and the Lions kicked the field goal to win that thing. They was rocking, bro, coming down the stretch playing their last game. 116.6, 253 touchdowns, no picks from Mitchell Stockton, and then Wise Montana had 89.5, 394, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks in that game. And a run game, Camden Mann, 18 carries, 79 yards, 4.4 in a touchdown. Tony Moody supplied with 1141, and then Herschel, 10 for 18, 1.8. Not going to get it done. What receivers went off? The White Coney with the donut on his neck. Anytime you play this guy and you see number 15, he's at the receiver position, and he got a donut on his neck, and you let him catch the ball 10 times, you need to kill yourself. Simple as that. 148. 14.8, 2 touchdowns. Artie Rice went crazy, 9 for 105 and 2 touchdowns in this game too. Hollywood still playing well, 9.4 yards a catch, 2 touchdowns. And then Mike Timmons, the other new speed burner over there, 7 for 66, 9.4 yards a catch. As you can see, overtime game, kick 3, game over. Lions and the We Don't Want to Win Bowl wins that 31-28 right now. Texans didn't play. Titans coach didn't play, 34-31. Mike lost that shit on purpose. Seahawks Browns 45-10. Now, they were clowning the Browns. They said the Browns didn't play week 17 but showed up and played week 18 for the gift. Was that what that was? I don't know. Both these guys are playing though, and I like the fact that we're going to see something here now. 45-10, score really was lopsided. Looks like the Seahawks had trouble stopping that Bill Walsh offense. 472 passing. Seahawks outrushed them, 18 first downs, but you can't win a game turning the ball over 7 times. It's just that simple. You turn the ball over 7 times, you're not going to win. And if you don't think the Seahawks has improved, just listen to these numbers. Usually when he throw 7 or more interceptions, that scores 60 and 70 points. 45 off of 7 interceptions. That's telling you some things has changed over there. Alright, but Braden Stanton went off, 108.6. He had 430 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks, but he had 5 touchdowns. Rushing, Nelson 17 for 73, 1 touchdown. Who was the leading receiver over here? Zach Wheatley, the number 1 pick overall at tight end, 8 for 204 and 2 touchdowns. The other number 1 first round pick, Justin Keys, had 4 for 117 and 2 touchdowns as well. The Browns got some weapons over here, fellas. Alright, Rocky Gray had 8 tackles, 4 tackles for loss. You also had Raymond Riaz coming from the safety position, 6'4", 225. He had 3 interceptions in this game. So he balled out, as you can see. My boy Hanif Anderson, the old Baltimore Raven, had a pick in this game. Alan Reed, one of the fastest linebackers in the league, had a pick too. Alright, so the Seahawks got the ass whipped week 18, and it's fucked up, because the Browns should have gave you the first win so you could get in the playoffs. Bullshit. I'd have been mad as hell. Anyway, Bears Rams 63-7. Listen, my Rams is getting better right now. Trust what I'm telling y'all. You'll see. You will see. That's all I'm going to say. Bengals Ravens computer game. Falcons Eagles computer game. Raiders Chargers forced win. Football team and the Bills forced win. Giants and the Saints played 52-24. To see what happened in this game. Offensive total yards, 463. Giants won that department. 178 on the ground, Giants won that. 285 in the air, Giants won that. 18 first downs, Giants won that. Turnovers, though, Saints won that. Let's go see what Elijah Manning has done with his weapons. 118.5, 296, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks, 2 sacks. But Jada Styles got hit the ground 5 times. They was tearing his ass up. 3 interceptions, no touchdowns in this game whatsoever. To the house, had 8 carries, 138 yards. Got him going, 17.3 yards. I mean, every time this guy is running, it's somewhere between 10 yards a carry. Why isn't he the starter for the New York Giants over there? I just can't figure it out. Now, Sir Dell said they drafted E. Peppers to take my job and shit. But yeah, I'm still here scoring all the damn touchdowns. And the receiver department, Isaac Cannon, man, Sir Isaac Cannon. 6 catches, 119, 2 touchdowns. What happened on the defensive side of things? Who got to the quarterback 5 times? Because we had 5 sacks over there. Let's see it. 2 for Anthony Strahan, 1 for Von Teller, 1 for Tyrone Pierce. Them linebackers was coming. I mean, they were blicking, sending that shit. Biggie Small sending it. Had a sack. Josh Allen also had a sack. And then Randy Hutchinson had a sack in this game, man. It got busy, boy. Giants 52-24. Denver Broncos going to the Chiefs. CPU. Rich quit this shit. We got a new coach coming in. I see computer. Rich is out of here now. Damn, I didn't even tell me he was leaving. We just congratulated that man on having a baby. He must have said, you know what? Fuck that. I'm out. Patriots, Jets. I said the same thing. This nigga would decide to play me weak to play my week to make the off. Alright, so Dolphins, Jacksonville. Dolphins got the first win, played the CPU 3 times. Very big issue there. Packers, Vikings, 42-47. This is a big game right here. Tight game too. Oh my god. This was to keep me in the playoffs, kick me out of the playoffs thing. 536 yards. I don't think y'all realize how explosive the Vikings is, and all they do is take deep shots all game long. There's no running in this game when you got a guy like Big Sanders in your backfield, 44 yards rushing. That's terrible. 490 in the passing game and 381. Both these teams got really legit number 1 receivers over there, and they get those boys the ball. You'll see 12 first down and 9. 7 turnovers to 3. This man throw the ball deep. He don't care. You're not going to survive in the playoffs throwing that many picks. I don't know how you even won this game. 47-42. Shit. All them damn picks. A lot of interceptions, bro. Aaron McKnight had 103.8 QB rating, 424, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. Chris Evans, 490, 5 touchdowns, 6 picks. He don't care. He just throwing picks. But Aaron McKnight, the dual threat, got sacked 5 times in this game. Rushing. B. Sanders, 2.5 yards a carry. The quarterback had 8.7, and Danny Glover got shut too. All the running backs got shut in this game. Everybody got shut. But here we go. Chadwick Boseman. All right, kept his name the same for a while. 8 catches, 304, 38 yards a catch, 4 touchdowns. Ding Woong. Oh my God, this guy's an asshole. Was this that guy Robertson?
I think so.
Like I said,
6'4",
yep,
yeah.
their 2 number 1 receivers went fucking crazy in this game. Six catches for 246 yards, 41 yards to catch, 4 touchdowns. Okay, Big Sanders didn't do anything on the ground, but he caught the ball 5 times, 120 yards out the backfield. So did Danny Glover. So both their running backs went crazy as receivers, and their 2 top receivers went the fuck off in this game. I'm not showing nothing else. They went off. 47-42 was the ball game over there. That kept the Vikings in playoff contentions. That stopped the Packers from being in the playoffs. 63-29 computer game here too. So now that we get out of these computer games and games that got played, all the games that were played, you guys will be getting a reset contract restructure. It's up to you to give me that player. I'm not chasing you down. We will match it up though. If you send it to me, we will check and see if you played that game. If you played the game, whether you played the computer or you played a human, you get 1 player reset. So there's somebody right now that has to be re-signed on your team that you didn't re-sign yet, that you can look at and be like, good, I don't gotta waste no money on this guy. So let me now think about this. I'm showing so much love. I'm giving the guys a reset on the contract, right? And if you played your game and you're watching this show, you get 2 resetted players, right? And if you pay for your RDL spot, that's $60 million you get in cap space right now. Do you know how good you're going to be going in the real draft? Now, how many guys that's not going to take advantage of this shit, that just ignores it, then going to be bitching to me later on about why their team looked the way it looked, or why they ain't got no money and can't do shit and all that, and, you know, the things is in front of you to be able to get that shit. You know what I'm talking about? I didn't mean to circle out of here, but it's okay. I can still stay where I'm at. We're going to the playoff tree right now. I'm going to advance this league, and we're going to see what's going on in the playoffs, and the rewards are popping up right now. We got to see all the good shit for the good shitters. All right. So, Max, man, help me out here right now. We go to the NFC side right now. Even though the Bucks lost the game, they don't lose their position in the playoffs. They are still the #1 seed. The New York Giants are sitting at 2. The team that we're going to worry about right now at the 7th seed is the Seahawks. I think that could possibly change because 6 and 5 both won their games. So 5 is not going anywhere. 6 shouldn't go anywhere. The 7th seed is the one we're going to be worried about. You know how I wish I could just start the playoffs right now? How it is? Like right now, how it is. I would love for my boy to get in the playoffs, bro. He deserved that shit. You know what, Browns? You know what, Junior? Fuck you, Junior. You piece of shit.
I'm just kidding.
You had nothing to play for. You could have just played the game, gave that man a fucking win.
Week 17, force win. Week 18, played game.
That's
Force
fucked
gate.
up.
Force gate.
Force gate. Force gate around. That's fucked up, man. You could have said, look, we're going to play, bro, but you going to get the dub. We're just going to play. You know what I mean? And all that shit. That's fucked up. Yeah, it's like that, bro. You ain't had nothing to play for. You was in the playoffs since motherfucking week 13. That's fucked
right,
up.
Harold. That's
fucked up, Harold.
This nigga would decide. You know what I mean, man?
That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. All right, on the other side, everything's pretty much set. I don't think too much going to change. You got the Bills at #2. They're going to play the 7th seed, Cleveland Browns. Tomorrow going to be fun watching these playoff games. The Broncos are 3. They're going to play the 6th seed, Miami Dolphins. I don't think too much should change. #4 seed versus #5 seed will be the Patriots at 5. Going to Jacksonville to play the #4 seed. All right, so for the most part, the draft class is done. You guys can scout the draft class out. It's done for the most part. It's going to be some undrafted guys that are real life players that I have to put in the draft because it's still some guys, like it's some spots I ain't fill. I literally did damn near the entire fucking draft from round 1 selected guys all the way down to the undrafteds at every fucking position. So we're gonna have a really special draft this draft. Just so y'all know the hard work I'll actually put in for you guys. You know, when y'all all bitching at me or mad and acting like I'm the problem all the fucking time. As soon as I do something somebody don't fucking like, they forget about the shit I do for them. That's all I'm gonna say. And you motherfuckers need to start appreciating what I be doing, bro, because I be working hard as hell for y'all. I don't even know what day it is. I don't even know the last time I had sleep. But what I do know, if you didn't get in here and do and look at these players and put your scouts on these guys, you won't better do it again until the Super Bowl pop up.
Hey, did you get the thing, my nigga? For King Madden?
King Madden?
Yeah.
I don't think I did. Nah, because I ain't finished this yet. Like I wanted to give the complete draft over there, because you know how when we do the same draft class, the finishing touches of this one don't be all the way over there. Then I gotta start editing them motherfuckers and shit.
Hit that shit.
Yeah. Now I'm hitting this league. I'm about to, but I'm about to save it before I hit it though. I got it.
Yeah,
Don't worry, we got it. Let's see what Drake London about, y'all. Oh shit, what he about? Oh, he turned red. He asked Chris Olave. Let's see what he about. First round talent for sure. You ain't dying on me. Never let them see you sweat. Shut up, Brian. Nobody want to hear this shit. Knock it off. He said, haha, I ain't even not worried about it. Happy to even be in the race this year. You know what I'm talking about? Brian, man, shut up. You and fucking Wise Montana can kiss my ass. Yo, Wise Montana gonna be a fucking problem. Just so y'all know. Guys don't be paying attention to this shit. Why am I only on receivers? I want to only be on receivers. Let's go look at some of these linebackers and see what they're about. Waste some of my points and shit. Oh, he a dog. Oh, he a dog. He a fucking dog. How about him? See what he about. Turn red. Nope. Dog. Oh, Lord. Oh Lord, who else on here? He needs to spend some time here. Damian Clark, Nicole B. Dean. Got some dogs in this bitch. Uh-oh, 5th round grade. I knew something was shitty about him. Not him though. Alright, I used all my points. And we out of here. Alright, so let me do this real fast. So I can put it over there in the other league. Go back to scouting. Let's go to you thought you was gonna be able to see it. I lied. Export local file. Real drive. There we go. File saved. And I'm out of there. How the fuck it kicked me all the way out the league? We're going to do that again. I ain't like that. I ain't like that. That ain't look right. I was moving fast so niggas can't get a peek at motherfuckers. Well, maybe I gotta slow down. Let's try this again. I know what I'm gonna do. Let's go. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Side. I'm gonna make a new team. I'm gonna go real draft. Real draft 1. There we go. Now I know we legit. Now let's roll. When I know what you know and what you're looking for, hey baby bubbas, ooh. Hey baby bubbas, woo. Hey baby, hey baby, hey baby, hey baby, hey baby, baby, baby. Yes, sir. Just had to make sure it was right. Alright, we good. Alright, Max, remind me to put that in King Madden, alright? Always need a dummy league to better try out shit, so you just in case. We're good, though. Alright, so the draft class is official. Let's get to it now. Let's find out who did what, when, where, why when it comes down to Week 17 and who won shit. We ready to find out who the playoff teams are real fast because I'm advancing that shit. We gonna know who got in and who didn't. Let me just make sure I don't do nothing wrong. Go back to schedule real fast. You got guys like Mike Tillman, who's the commissioner, so you gotta make sure the injuries is off. Alright, so Texas Panthers get the home win there. Raiders said forced loss. He got, yep, did that. Patriots Jets away. Cool. Everything else is everything. So away. Home, 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 and we're good. Alright, hit that shit. Bear with me, fellas, because like I said, Mike Tillman, the commissioner here, turn injuries on in a heartbeat on y'all. Mike about to be like, what you talking about? Oh. Let's see if they on. No, they not. Right, man. This is what I do every time guys don't play in a week. I gotta make sure everything, so guys don't lose a player for 38 weeks and be ready to kill somebody else. Alright. Advance the wild card round. Here we go. Force advance. Alright, fellas. Y'all seeing this live with me for the first time. Who the fuck's in the playoffs right now, man? Here we go. Let's go to the playoff bracket. See who hacking it right now. See who's in. And that number 7 seed is the Eagles. Sorry, Hal, man. You know, it was good. Your run was great this year. Thank the Browns. Word up. Blame the fucking Browns. Blame the fucking Browns for your loss. I'm just playing around. Alright, Matt. Let's talk, baby.
Yo,
Ready to get to it?
Yes, sir.
First of all, Matt, how many people do you think came on, typed their team name in the chat, in the comment section, hit the like button, screenshotted it, sent it to you, and then hop right the fuck off this bitch?
Out of how many did all of that? Probably three, 4 coaches. Honestly, I have about anywhere from like 10 to 12 DMs. I think.
So the funny thing is those that are still on is going to benefit more from that being on still, right? And the guys that hopped off are going to be like, damn, what the fuck?
I'll know. Timestamp screenshots don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Most of y'all got time in the top right of your screenshots, or top left.
Because you know me, I'm liable to say those that are still watching, type that you're still watching, and I'm gonna hop on here, and you ain't just gonna get the gift I already said you is getting. I'm gonna throw another one at you. You know what I'm talking about? All this shit for real draft. Trust me. Scooby Dooby Doo said Doo Browns. Alright. Max, here's the matchups. The matchups are set now. We are in a wild card round for right now. So Sunday football is going to be great. We don't have real life football going on. Only thing we can watch is Madden. And I promise you, this playoffs, bro. This playoffs, I will watch as many games as I can. So hopefully these guys, broadcast the game. Listen, fellas, if you're the away team and you got to broadcast and post your game in the fucking chat, it's playoffs. Right? If you're having connection issues, tell the person you plan to broadcast the game and you take yours down. But you have to motherfucking pause the game and tell the other person to broadcast, take your shit down. We have to better watch these games. They're playoff games. Alright? And more importantly, if somebody's cheating you, how do we know to fix it or stop it or, penalize these guys from cheating you if you don't have a broadcast up? So please broadcast these games right now. Alright, so we already talked about the 2 vs 7 matchup over here in the AFC. The Bills have to take on Junior and those Browns. I like this game because, and sort of a sense, they have somewhat similar passing styles. Almost. Braden Stanton loves to get outside that pocket and make things happen on a rollout, right? But he also can stand in that pocket and make it happen. He's legit. When it comes down to a quarterback that can throw a short pass or medium range passes, this guy is one of the most accurate quarterbacks we have in our league, throwing the football somewhere between 2 and 20 yards. Very accurate. On a run, he don't have to have his feet set. He can really execute this offense at a high level. And the better he plays and the better he gets, the better the Browns go. We saw this team go all the way to the AFC Championship last year from out of nowhere. No one expected it, but they did exactly that. They did some things, through free agency and drafting to get some pieces to help solidify some of the things they like to do and would like to do, right? Things that I know planned his team twice this season. I know some of the things he thought he was weak at. Every time we finish a game and we conversate, we talk about, some of the things that he need to do to get improved or get better at, and he seems to go out there and attack that. This is a sign of a good GM. And he did it so well last year that he was able to beat the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, and then go into the divisional round, and then beat the Dolphins in Miami, and then almost get to go in Denver and pull that out almost. And he did it through time of possession and efficient offensive play. Simple as that. He kept the ball out of your offense's hands, and he kept the ball on his offense's hands for a long drive, and he killed the time of possession on most of the teams he played. You're going into Buffalo, and guarantee you're going into a weather element situation, and both these teams are from cold weather cities, so it's not like the Browns are going to be in unfamiliar territory, right? Because they do play in weather. But the thing is you're going into a weather game plan where the grass is going to be super soaked and wet, or hard as a rock, and the speed is going to get slowed down a little bit, but you're still going to play a team that's going to play very fast. Defensively, the Browns are going to be in a situation they're going to have to be able to make calls on the fly, stay comfortable, because this Buffalo Bills team has a go mode where they'll call a play every 4 seconds. And if they get into that, can the Browns stick with that? And on the flip side of things is how well does Braden Stanton play in the weather elements, and how good he goes? Can he get it going? Can the wide receivers, the young wide receiver group of the Cleveland Browns, really give problems to the young secondary of the Buffalo Bills? And then you got a rookie quarterback playing in this game, so this is a sign. This is signs for electricity, right? We can see a lot of fireworks in this game, man. At the same time, a lot of mistakes can happen in this game, and mistakes turn into sloppy football play. And if the game is sloppy, anybody can win this game. So I ask you, Max, in this matchup, Bills versus the Browns, who do you got winning this game?
Bills.
You got the Bills winning, so you think Mike Weber, the rookie quarterback, can at home go ahead and win the playoff game?
Yep, Bills by a touchdown.
By a touchdown? Cool.
28, actually 35-28.
High scoring game?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, so we're sliding over here to a familiar game right here. The last time you guys met, you lost. Philadelphia going to go up against the new young Gremlins right now, man.
Blizzard, bitch.
It's already a weather game?
Oh, yeah. You already know I clicked on that thing. Blizzard, bitch.
Alright, so speed is speed. Speed is everywhere on both these teams. The weather is in play right now. Philly plays in the weather elements as well, but the Giants don't never play a playoff game that's not home, where they're not playing in the weather elements right now. You guys split in the regular season. The Eagles has fought their way into the playoffs right now, but they're coming into this game with a young quarterback going up against a savvy defense right now. How do you feel about the quarterback that has beaten you the last time y'all played? How do you feel about him and the Eagles?
I think he'll have to rely on veterans kind of, but he's played enough football and shown that he's still a playmaker. I don't know if he's had a snow game in Philly prior to this playoff game, a snow game, but if he hasn't, then I don't know what college he went to or his background history, but hopefully he's ready for a lot of slipping and sliding, cold weather, high winds. But I think the offense is going to have to dumb it down for him to be successful.
I'm gonna say it like this, man. We got another rookie quarterback in these playoffs right now. It's hard for the rookie quarterback to get it going. I just think the Eagles got to make sure he's a game manager first before trying to be a playmaker. The Giants is young on defense, especially up front. The Giants still haven't found out who's their number one corner for this defense too. And the Eagles have gotten it going with Dorian Parker all year long right now. So when you look at this matchup, I don't think that this is a cakewalk for the Giants in this situation right now. But what's scary is this. Here's what's scary about this matchup. Familiar coaches anything can happen. I'm trying to tell you, it doesn't matter, what the records has been. Throw them shits out the door. When they're familiar with each other, the atmosphere changes. When you get into the thick of things and you look at both these two teams, they're successful. Both of them got players that play very well for them. If I look at the Eagles team and I'm thinking about, who who can step up for the Eagles, that the Eagles need to step up for them to be successful. And I'm going to probably say somebody on spec. So when we talked about the Browns and the Bills, to me the matchup started with the quarterbacks and it stayed there. I never really went into anything else but the quarterbacks, because I do think you're dealing with a rookie quarterback and you're dealing with a quarterback that's been up and coming and making a name for himself and has really shown that he can do some things in this league. So that matchup stays there. We're in the same similar situation here where we got two quarterbacks that, one's a rookie, the other one is pretty much one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I don't think the game is won by Darian Thomas Jr. I think, again, you heard the key words that came out of my mouth. I said he has to be a game manager, not a playmaker for this team. When you look at weapons, you see Dorian Parker, 17 touchdowns, 71 catches, 1248. He's their guy. Is there a corner on that team that can lock down? Because when you're playing in the elements, it's going to be some man-to-man play from this New York Giants team. Do they have a guy on that team that can absolutely put the clamps on this guy? But again, he's not the player that I'm more concerned about in this game. To me, for the Eagles to be successful in this game, it starts right here. Jonathan Taylor, 174 carries, 1,000 yards, 6.1 yards a carry, 15 touchdowns. I think he has to go over 100 yards in this game for him to be successful, for the Eagles to even be able to win this game in New York, right? And it starts there. The problem is this. DT can kill them with their feet too, but the weather element makes me have some concern about the quarterback running. But Jonathan Taylor is in his 7th season. He's a veteran and he's still playing at a high level, and I think he can be the reason why this Eagles team is successful in that game. When you look at the Giants, everything to me starts with their quarterback. At the end of the day, nothing goes through this team offense without it going through Elijah Manning. 73 touchdowns on the year, 26 interceptions. You have 71% all year. I mean, he's playing at a super high level right now. I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, if not one of the top 3 quarterbacks in this league right now. But again, when you come to this game in the snow, you're looking at things like this, just follow me here for a second, because I'm asking for the Giants to win a ball game in the playoffs and put it in a rookie's hand to do it. But follow me. Just follow me. Week 1, 12 yards a carry. Week 2, 8.9 yards a carry. Week 3, 4.8 yards a carry. Week 4, 6.1. Week 5, 6.4. Week 7, 4.8. Week 8, 7 on 1 carry. So, Week 9, football team, 4.1 yards a carry. 8.7 against the Broncos, 18 carries. 14 carries, 5.2 against the Cardinals. 17 carries, 5 yards against the Jets. 7 carries, 4.7 against the Eagles. Now keep following me. Bills, 4 yards. Panthers, 5.4 yards. Eagles, 6-1. 9 carries in that Eagles game. 7 carries in that Eagles game. Teams with really good run defenses. Cardinals, Broncos, football team, Buccaneers. To the house has an opportunity to change this ball game in a way where it could get ugly for the Philadelphia Eagles if they just trust him. And then my question is, will he be ready for a playoff game? We have yet to see this guy touch the ball 20 times in a game. The closest he came to it was Week 10 against the Broncos, where he had 18 carries, and you see 9 yards a carry. 18 carries again against the Buffalo Bills, and there's 22 against the Patriots. Why? Because the Patriots run the football. Patriots have a really good run defense as well. 3.5 yards a carry, 1 touchdown in that game, and then the Saints 8 carries. He went crazy in this game, 17.3. To the house, to me, no matter what weapons the Giants have on their team, I think in the type of game, playoff atmosphere, and the weather they're dealing with right now, your 1,000-yard back, who really haven't really touched the ball, hasn't really shown to really be. He got the more carries, but he's not your true #1 running back. I don't think they could fuck around with 3 running backs and try and figure out, just give him touches here. This guy gets in a shotgun. I think to the house has to come into this game and prove he's going forward as the new Saquon Barkley over here. 20 carries. To me, if he can get 20 carries and he's successful with those 20 carries, he can be anywhere between 4 yards a carry and above. I think they'll put the Eagles in a really, really bad situation in this game because of what they have on the outside. These weapons on the outside are very, very dangerous, and there's 3 of them that can give you a problem. 4 with the tight end, that can give you a problem easily with no problem. You know what I mean? 10, 4 of them, 10 touchdowns, 18, 18, 18. Just think about the way Elijah Manning spreads the ball around. I think that the run game opens this up even more for them. So in my opinion, I think both of them have to get in this game and they got to run the ball. And I know that we scream that run the football shit all playoffs and all that. I'm not saying that they can't win the game without throwing the football. I'm just saying with them two facing each other as many times as they faced each other, in my opinion, running the football is the option, especially for the Eagles. If they get Jonathan Taylor going, they get JT going, it's going to be a long day for the Giants as well. But I just think the Giants going to have to counter because I do think they'll run JT. I think the Giants have to really come into this game, show that drafted running back to the house is exactly who they thought he was going to be, and get him going early. The counterbalance to the Eagles running the football, they also want to be to me they got to be somewhere between 150 to 200 yards rushing. They don't have to do it all with JT because that quarterback can run the ball as well. And if you get that type of offense going on when you play this Giants team, it's going to put them in the. When you want the Giants, they're gonna study you. They're gonna know everything you like to do. They're gonna take your tendencies away from you. So you have to be able to do something and throw a wrinkle at these guys to put them in a situation where they let up off the acceleration button. They slow the fuck down and try to process. The moment you get them to process, the better you have a chance on winning this ball game. The easiest way to slow a team down and make them process some things is being able to run right the fuck at them. So, in my opinion, I think the Eagles have to do exactly that. It's going to be hard for them to go into New York with a rookie quarterback in the elements and win a ball game like this. But I do think the fact that they play each other so much, there's an opportunity. It's always been close games, but the Eagles have finally got over that hump in a long time that they haven't got over in a while playing this team, which is they finally got a win. And the situation, can they build off of it? I don't think the Eagles can take that young quarterback into this game and win it. However, I don't see this game being a ass whooping or a blowout. I think it's somewhere between 3 and 10 points. But I'm going with the Giants in this game. Let's slide over here to the 3rd versus 6th seed right now, the Dolphins and the Broncos. All right, so Max, the first question is, if it's an element game, how do the Dolphins go into Colorado in the elements, if it's an element game, and go in the elements and be able to pull out a dub in Denver?
I think they still stay true to somewhat passing. I know they're going to run Spencer Moss and use the last. I think they definitely should use the last running back because I don't know how ready Spencer Moss is. I forget his name right now.
Junkies.
Yeah, Junkies. I'm just having a blank. My fault. But at that, and I still think they should, trust in passing the ball, but just make it a little bit simpler within the game. Allow those guys, those fast, short guys, young and inexperienced Waddle to make plays in open space, kinda. And I know that sounds like funny because of the snow game, but their high level of speed threshold still will be decent speed even with the snow game. So they just gotta kind of take advantage of that. But I definitely think Spencer Moss will be, a big part of the offense. It has to be.
When I look at this 2 matchups right here, here's the matchup that I'm going to go with right now. And it's a simple matchup. It's the most It's the easiest role to answer if you're looking for one, right? Um, it's uh, it's the tell all. It's simple. It's not rocket science. You know, when you play the Miami Dolphins, it's flat out come down to what can you do to Jalen Waddle. You shut Jalen Waddle down, you have an opportunity to win the ball game. Simple as that, right? So you look at when you look at speed and you look at the weather and the weather slowing guys down speed wise, right? You look at the two teams and you look at who can do what, when, where, and how, right? Jalen Waddle always benefits in the snow game. He's better in a snow game than guys want to give him credit for. Why? Because Jalen Waddle is still the fastest person on the field in a snow game. Jalen Waddle is responsible for 2,059 yards and 25 touchdowns. Now we starting to see a lot more 1,000-yard receivers out of the Miami Dolphins, and this is a good thing because now you're starting to see that they starting to find out who's who right now. They got the diaper dandy Nathan Hoffman out of Jackson State who had 1,007 touchdowns. Forbes also had 1,009 touchdowns, and then the tight end had double digits, 10 touchdowns and 1,000 yards. So they got the weapons now, and they're showing that they're comfortable with these weapons. But it all comes down to Jalen Waddle because Jalen Waddle is the answer to the Dolphins' success and the answer to the Dolphins' failure. When you get into this game and the snow takes some speed away from Jalen, right? Jalen with that 99 speed, 99 XL is still going to be in the 90s when most other guys will drop down into the 80 speed wise. So that's it. It goes right there. Jalen Waddle. But when you go back to the Broncos and you look at on defense who they have to be able to counter Jalen Waddle, they got a guy out of the same draft class as Jalen Waddle, a guy that absolutely covered Jalen Waddle in college once a year, sometimes twice when they played in the championship, right, or the playoffs, or whatever the case may be, right? So let's go look at it, and we look at the guy sitting right here in Kerry Vincent. He only had 4 interceptions on the season right now, but you ain't asking him to pick the ball off. You're asking him to match speed with the guy the one guy on their team that you gotta shut down. And if there's a guy that can do that, we're looking at a guy with 98 speed, 99 XL right now, 97 XL right now. So this is the matchup I'm looking for. The number 7 ranked cornerback in the league versus probably the number 1 or 2 ranked receiver in the league, and Jalen Waddle. We saw the Buffalo Bills do it with Simmons and take Waddle completely out the game where they lost that game. Can Kerry Vincent Jr., follow him all over the place, slot outsides, and put the clamps on him? Is the question. And so their game, to me, it goes right then and there. Then, once you come off that matchup, right? That's the matchup I'm looking at, first of all. All right. Then once you come off that matchup, then it comes down to what you said. You got the rookie Spencer Moss at running back for this team, for the Dolphins, and how well can he run the ball in this game? And then you already know, when it comes down to offense, Javonte Williams is the guy you got to worry about. 2,000-yard back, 24 touchdowns. He averaged 123 yards a game, and he also is important for this team in the passing game as well. 20 catches. I mean, they don't throw the ball to him in a way where you like, damn, 60 catches, 800 yards. That's not it. But in games, it seems like he's so important in that passing game. Although you only see 20 catches right now, it feels like they use him a little bit more in the passing game. So things go through him in the passing game, and both these guys want to throw to their running backs, especially the Dolphins. They're going to throw the ball to their running back out the backfield, whether you catch them in the flat or on Texas routes. Same thing here. Javonte Williams will catch the ball on Texas routes and in the flat as well to keep drives going. Which one of these guys will produce? I just think the Broncos will line up and play smash mouth football with the Miami Dolphins and make them play a slow game that they don't really want to play. So again, I like the matchups there. Cornerback versus Waddle, Kerry Vincent Jr. versus Jalen Waddle, and then what running back will have the most success in their game. So in my opinion, I ask you, Max, who do you got winning this ball game? Broncos or the Dolphins?
If it's a weather game, Broncos. If it's not, Dolphins.
Young Camden, are you playing in the weather elements? All right. Our Super Bowl defending champions are the 3rd seed this year, and they're going up against the 6th seed for the first time in the playoffs, the Minnesota Vikings. When we look at this matchup, we're looking at an inexperienced playoff team versus an inexperienced playoff team. But these two teams do things a lot different. Usually when you get to the playoffs, the Cardinals want to run your life away. They're going to run you out the building, and they're going to do it with their running back. And somehow, some way, their running back goes from they go from whoever they are to Super Saiyan. These motherfuckers go up 3-4 levels in the playoffs for some reason. I don't know how he do it. What makes these guys get to that level? But we know when Tyson Williams went to the Tennessee Titans and they made the playoffs, nobody was expecting Hits Israel to be no weather elements. Uh-oh. So you picking the Dolphins in this game, right? No weather?
Yep.
So Hits Israel broke playoff records last year and scored 17 touchdowns in 3 games last year. The previous playoff runs and Super Bowl wins this team had, they did it with Tyson Williams, their running back. As explosive as Kyler Murray is in the passing game and these wide receivers can get, this offense can do creatively, it still comes back down to the run game with them when they get to the playoffs. For some reason, these guys know how to line up and give their running back situations to be able to go out there and win ball games for them. On the other hand, you got a Vikings team who's going to light you up. They're going to light it up through the air. They are throwing the ball vertically down the field. They are going to make you chase their receiver all over the place, and 9 out of 10 you're going to be chasing him somewhere between 20 to 50 yards downfield all game long. Now, that could put pressure on some teams, right? And that could put pressure on some teams. And the last time these teams matched up, he did exactly that. It put pressure on these teams. But can he sustain a game where he can win this ball game with just that type of game, where you know what they want to do? They want to throw the ball deep all game. Can they go into Arizona and fling that thing the way they want to fling it and come out of there with a victory? I'm going to say no and yeah. But the year part is I think they can go down there because nobody has stopped that receiver all year. You're not just going to magically stop a guy who's been doing it all year long. They got the cornerbacks to do it. I think Tay Gowan will match up with him. Their number 1 corner versus their number 1 receiver. It's only right that they match them two up together, because the Cardinals will be playing man-to-man in this game a lot. So because of that, I think they just going to have to, buckle down and say, who's our best corner? We're going to put him on your best receiver and show me that anybody else can win the ball game. Right? But the Minnesota Vikings, they're in this game with a rookie quarterback. And, that's the part that scares me, because this rookie quarterback, although he threw 57 touchdowns, he also threw 52 interceptions. Because they don't give a fuck. They're throwing the ball down the field, and every time you play deep ball football, you're taking a 50-50 chance of throwing a touchdown, throwing a completion, or throwing a pick. At 60%, for them to throw as deep as they do and as far as they do down the field, at 60%, I knew Foe was coming on this bitch. I seen Hussein come. I knew he was right behind him. What's up, Foe? 60 completion percentage, right? 353.8 yards a game. For you to throw the ball down the field the way they throw the ball down the field, I like that percentage. That 60% is pretty good. Running the ball, we have a problem here. Houston, we have a problem. They don't got a running back that's anywhere near close to 100 yards or even double-digit touchdowns. And you ain't going to better play a playoff game, especially against a defense like the Cardinals, and come into that game and better win it without being able to establish some type of run game, especially when they're going to give their running back the football. But here where we look at some things and be like, wait a minute. I mean, this guy averaging 31.5 yards a catch right now. He's almost at 200 yards a game. He had 39 touchdowns right now, 106 catches. So they throw the ball to him, but then they throw the ball to the tight end and the running back out the backfield as well. 2 tight ends actually produced for this team. Theo Fletcher, I'm saying tight end, my bad. Theo Fletcher, and Irv Smith is the tight end. I'm sorry. Theo Fletcher is another rookie. So you're looking at Chadwick Boseman, who's the leading the receivers in pretty much every stat except for touchdowns this year. Is the man right now. So you're looking at the number 1 receiver in the league versus a good secondary that got a shutdown corner and Tay going. My question though, Max, can and will he have success, playing the way he's been playing all year long?
The quarterback, or just the Vikings in period, the Vikings coach?
Y'all little niggas get mad at everything, right? Damn, I didn't even think I was throwing a shot at anything like that, man. Hey, yo, do me a favor, bro. When you start talking that Dick Ryan shit, make sure you ain't talking about me with that Dick Ryan shit. Knock it off, bro. I don't play those games, first of all. And I thought I was saying y'all too cool with each other. Y'all fuck with each other every time. You know what? Let me stop saying shit to some of these sensitive ass motherfuckers in this league, bro. Jesus Christ. Anyway, go ahead. Say what you were saying, bro. I got time for that shit. Get the fuck out of here.
You saying the quarterback or the coach?
I'm saying the coach. Can he come into this game and fling the ball 30 fucking yards down the field every time he play when he playing his team?
Fuck no. Should it be air.com?
That's what I'm saying. So can like you've been doing something all year long, right? You've been doing something all year long, and you're doing something has been throwing the ball downfield all year long, and it successfully got you in the playoffs at the 6th seed right now, or even 5th seed, one of the two, 6th seed. You're in the playoffs, but you've been playing like that. But that's a 50-50 gamble. Like you've been gambling every game, throwing the ball downfield like that. And now you're about to play a team that a 4 Super Bowl winning team who has a pretty good handle of his team defensively and offensively. You have to go into Arizona, and do you change your game plan up, or do you stick to what got you there? That's my question.
I think definitely still gotta play like with that intention, but you gotta disguise it a little bit better.
So then I ask myself this: you got a running back in the backfield that catch the ball really well out the backfield, but he's not. Don't seem like he's. I don't know. 138 carries ain't a lot of carries at all, right? I think they give him the ball enough to keep a team honest, and then go right back to throwing the ball deep downfield. Do you think they have to have some success here with DG at running back in this game for them to be successful? Like, my thing is, can they take the drags? Can they take the short shit and run the ball and kind of put themselves in a situation where they can establish a drive game with this team instead of trying to strike all, every 2-3 plays they try to, strike? Could they, maybe change up a little bit in the playoffs, run the ball a little bit more, throw a little bit more short passes to set up the deep ball a little bit more, or what I mean? Because I don't see them sustaining this in the play. Like, I think it can get ugly for them if they throw deep balls all game long against the Cardinals.
I definitely think it can get ugly if they think they're gonna do that all game.
So we're gonna see, because you're dealing with a rookie quarterback, right? You're dealing with a rookie quarterback in Chris Evans. He threw for 6,000 yards. Again, 57 touchdowns, 52 interceptions. We don't like that touchdown to interception ratio. With a rookie quarterback, you can get away with it with the 60%, though. For them to take the deep shots that they take down the field at 60%, I'm comfortable with that, right? But I'm just, you're looking at who you facing right now, and then could this work? Now, these two teams played in the regular season, and the Vikings came into that game and they were striking. Actually, we were on headset when they played that game, and every 2 or 3 plays, Falk was like, "God damn it!" and that motherfucker Boseman was running by everybody, catching everything. But you showed your hand already when you played him. You can't come back and do the same thing twice against the Cardinals. I think the coach is smart enough to know he can't come into a playoff game and do what he do regular season all year long. I think he has to come into that playoff game and kind of balance it out a little bit more. But I do think, if I'm this coach, you got to get your best weapon of football. So how do you do that without just taking deep shots all game long? Jet sweeps, send him on dummy routes instead of going deep, make him do some short shit, send somebody else deep. Theo has caught the ball 82 times this year. He's averaging 15.8. He can probably, they can reverse roles a little bit in this game. I just think for them to be able to win this ball game, to go in there to do the impossible, they have to be able to, put drives together. And the way they play, they looking to score every 2 to 3 plays. You feel me? I think they have to really. Wide receiver is really good. Vikings wide receiver, his wide receiver, yeah, he's really good. He is really good. And we saw it, and I can show y'all what I'm talking about. Like, when we go to schedule real fast. Give me a second. These two teams matched up, and again, I'm not saying that that receiver is really good. Team schedule, that receiver is really good. He's been the best receiver all year. Let me just go to the Cardinals real fast, fellas. Here we go. 83-31. This was the score of this game. And what happens was, you see it, 21-0 in the first quarter. Then he had a 24-28 quarter where, he started bombing the shit out of Falk, right? And Falk did a whole lot of complaining, but when you continue to keep bombing it, you leaving points off the board in quarters because you're throwing deep all game long. And as you can see what happened, you had 2 quarters where you didn't score points at all. You had a big second quarter, and then scored 7 in the fourth quarter. But when you look at the game, the quarterback threw 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. No, I mean the quarterback threw 4 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. And this is, you throw 5 interceptions against the Cardinals, you're gonna lose by 60. 9 of them, you damn near got lost. You almost lost the game by 100. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think Falk comes into this playoff game and Kyler Murray got 6 picks and 9 touchdowns. At this point, he knew the game was going to be won. He identified what the Vikings was trying to do, and he was looking to motherfucking beat the record. Remember, he was trying to beat the touchdown record in this game, where I think Boone threw 11 touchdowns with his quarterback a couple years ago before he left the Browns team. Falk was chasing that and threw 9 in this game. So you're not going to see a Kyler Murray make this many mistakes in a playoff game. But in the same process, you will see Chris Evans launching the ball up and down the field like this for him to be able to make those type of mistakes, 9 picks. And that's what I'm scared of. I think the Vikings got to come in and try to establish a run game, try to establish a game, a short passing game, a medium passing game, and know that your deep game is there. But you got to set that deep game up a lot better than just taking shots all game long. Because that receiver, he had a day, 7 catches. I mean, this is a fucking day. 7 catches for 332 yards, 47.4 yards a catch, 4 touchdowns. But I watched this game, and I watched him, take these shots. He called shot plays all game long, where he got designed shot plays to if you in a certain defense and he catch your ass out there, he gonna walk right by you off the rollout. He got some shit from the pocket he could do. A lot of that shit shot play Willie. So. But the Cardinals seen it already, so can you come back and do the same thing? I mean, they both was going crazy with their receivers, and it seems like that's the story with the Vikings. It looked like he was stat chasing with this receiver all year. So, when you see a guy who's putting up numbers with this receiver, and every game you talk about him, you got the guy who has the #1 receiver on the other team putting up the same type of numbers. It's a shootout, and it's a stat game pretty much. So. Now that the Vikings are in a playoff game, he can't be on some stat game shit. He got to play to win. So my question would just be flat out, can he change up what he's been doing all year long without changing up too much where he can't still do the things he's comfortable with doing to be able to play in this game? I'm going to be honest with y'all, not no disrespect or anything like that. I just don't think the Vikings stand a chance in this game at all. I think they go into Arizona and get blown the fuck out. Like all the way blown the fuck out. I think they're going to throw too many interceptions, and the Cardinals is just going to dominate this ball game because they're not going to do the same thing with throwing all them picks all the way back right now. All right, so 4 versus 5, the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Do you think the Dallas Cowboys put too much effort in their last 3 games to secure themselves a playoff spot where they burnt themselves out and they lose this playoff game? Or do you think they could finally get over this Bear hump? Because they've been matching up with the Bears for a while now. And, since the cheat gate game where they got 2 second-round picks from the Bears cheating and calling the same damn plays all game long, they haven't really beat this team in the playoffs. So my question is, they coming off a really big stretch, beating a football team, beating the Eagles, and beating the Bucks. Can they, continue this process and win a playoff game this year? Because they put a lot of work into getting to the playoffs to be able to maintain that they make the playoffs every year. My question is, can they complete the process and win a playoff game? They haven't won a playoff game since season 1 when they went to the divisional round. Can the Cowboys get over that hump? To me, it comes down to the run game. It comes down to Joey Cummings, and what he can do on the ground. And with the Bears is stopping Justin Fields, because I don't think the weapons for the Bears is better than the Cowboys defense. I think they match up and they can cover these guys. They don't have scary receivers, in my opinion. None of those receivers over there are somebody that I will be spending all night trying to scheme for and all that shit. I think the Cowboys defense is very good and can run around with this Bears team. the Bears will try to establish a run game in the playoffs, but at the end of the day, they want to roll out right with Fields and make plays off the rollout and take off with him if they have to. So can the linebacker group, which is a really good linebacker group for the Cowboys, stop Justin Fields? Can you contain him? Could you QB spy him? Could you stop him from killing you with his feet and killing you on a rollout and throwing the ball all over the park when you're hitting these deep crossing routes and corner routes and things like that they like to do in the passing game? And then on the flip side of that, can the Cowboys, Sidney Cake play well enough to keep drives going and take some advantage of some defenses that you're going to see thrown at him from the Bears, and understand some of the shit they do. Like, the Cowboys got to identify what the Bears is doing on defense, because they're going to call different plays but set up the same shit on defense. Can you identify that, and can you take advantage of that while same time 30 carrying Joey Cummins? Because you got to get that man 30 carries for you to be successful and win this game. So Max, if you're still on, I'll ask you, do you got the Bears or the Cowboys in this game? While waiting for Max to answer that situation, we'll go here to the Jaguars and the Patriots. All right, so 4 versus 5 seed. I love this matchup. This might be the game of the week in the playoffs. Bears taking that. Yeah, I think the Bears going to win that too. I'm rooting for the Cowboys. I'm gonna be honest, I'm rooting for them Cake Boys to get something done over there. I would like to see them go forward in the playoffs. But I think the Cowboys, the Bears is going to win it, because they're going to do something that's going to piss him off and he's going to get him out of his game. Jaguars Patriots to me might be the game of the week, because I like this game and I like this Bills Cleveland game more than any game on here. But I think this game is important and special because they're 2 crew members. I don't know where Shoguns is at right now. Like, I don't know if he's in the process of moving and is just not going to be focused in this game, or is he going to get locked in Shoguns, because Shoguns is in a mission where he has a young quarterback that he made a move for to get rid of an already playoff quarterback, and he got that quarterback to take them to another level, which is to win a playoff game more than they lose playoff games. Right? This team is 1-6 in the playoffs. So because of that, they're 1-5 in the playoffs. Excuse me, they're 1-5 in the playoffs. They want to be 2-5 at the end of this game. And New England is stuck in that crosshair of, we used to have a division, we won a Super Bowl, guys used to respect me, and I don't feel like I'm getting that respect anymore. So do they come into this game, with the world on their back, if that makes sense? But it comes down to 2 things. It comes down to, is Ezekiel Stokes the running back that can take them forward, or is it going to be J.K. Dobbins? If I told y'all this last night, the Patriots can't win this game without using J.K. Dobbins and Ezekiel Stokes. And then the Jaguars, Travis Etienne. What is the Patriots going to do to better stop Etienne? Patriots do have a strong run defense, but they have a bend but don't break defense. So my thing is, whoever runs the ball better in this game is going to be successful. But whoever can throw the ball when they need to throw the ball, not when they want to. When they need to throw the ball, should win this ball game. Jacksonville has thrown the ball really well all year. Can they continue that? I don't know who I would pick in this game, but I do think this is our game. This is the game that we should say is the game of the week that we all should want to watch. And maybe even say pick the winner on this game. Shit, what y'all think about that? Should we do a pick a winner in the playoffs, the wild card round? I like it. We should do a pick a winner. I'll bring this back up tomorrow when we do the show. Bring this back up on the pick the winner game. But if you're still watching right now, matter of fact, here you go. Here's what we're gonna do. If you're still watching right now, just do the pick the winner. Screenshot it, send it to Max. Pick a winner. Jaguars, Patriots. If you're still watching right now, you pick that winner. Then you will be able to gift up if you pick the winner. But also, I got something for you just because you're still watching. So if you're still watching right now, pick a winner and screenshot it and send it to Max, and the commission come through and take care of you. All right, just to clean up and walk out of here with this, I think Nano taking that. I think Nano gonna win it too because I don't know what headspace Guns is in. Guns is moving back to Atlanta, so moving from a whole different state to another different state. So I think I don't know if his headspace is gonna be right, to be honest with you. So I don't know. I don't know who to pick yet. I will pick one before I get off of this bitch. But let's go look at those that won the awards this year. Coach of the Year, Joe Judge takes that victory home. Joe Judge wins his 4th Coach of the Year, I think. League MVP for the first time, Lamar Jackson wins the league MVP. He also wins Offensive Player of the Year. In the NFC, our Offensive Player of the Year goes to Kyler Murray. And Defensive Player of the Year goes to Devin White, the linebacker for the Bucks. The veteran over there wins it, the user. AFC Defensive Player of the Year goes to Steve Israel. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Tion Pitts. And the NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Darian Thomas Jr., the young phenom at quarterback, the golden child. Wins that for the NFC. Defensive Rookie of the Year in the NFC goes to Chris Samuels. And Coach said he was going to do that. Yo, shout out to Drew. He said his guy will win it. And he did win it. Damn, he stole it from Orlando Jordan. God damn. I kind of wanted to see Orlando Jordan win that shit, bro. Wow. Shit happens. Alright, so now we're looking at best quarterbacks in the NFC. Kyler Murray won that. In the AFC, Lamar Jackson has won that. Running backs over here. Tremaine Bass has won the best running back in the AFC this year. In the NFC, the best running back goes to Jaleel Ruggs. Shout out to Jaleel Ruggs for winning that. Wide receiver goes to surprise Chadwick Boseman for the Vikings, and he playing his first playoff game this year. And Tion Pitts, the diaper dandy, wins the best wide receiver award in the AFC. Offensive line goes to Patrick Falk in the AFC. In the NFC, it goes to Clay Oates for the Giants, wins that award. Best defensive line goes to, right, that is some bullshit, Jeremy Cumberland, the sack leader this year, wins the NFC Defensive Lineman Award. In the AFC, that Defensive Lineman Award goes to Ted Saragusa. Jumps over top of Eric Bolden. Shout out to that. Ted Saragusa. Shout out. Best Linebacker Award in the NFC goes to Adolphe Owe. Jumps over Cliff Odoms to win that. In the NFC, you're dealing with Devin White, the user. So they had the top two. Bush too. Shit. Devin White, the user, wins this. So shout out to Craig and the Bucks for winning that. Then you go best DBs. There it go. How he wins the best DB but don't win this game, boy? Orlando Jordan. Shout out to baby Jordan, man. Orlando Air Jordan over this bitch with the defensive back award for the NFC. So if you still watch, yeah, you still watching, you still listening. Hey yo, bro, tell me the hit power for him. I needed to know that. Tell me what's his hit power. Alright, and the AFC Defensive Back Award goes to Steve Israel. So we cleaned up this year in awards right now. Alright, so there go your award winners right there. Shout out to all those who just filled their trophy case up. Complete shout out to you guys, man, going into real draft. Shout out to them Ravens this year. I appreciate you guys stepping, and let's try to get the whole shit done. Now let's go to stats right now and see who led in the stat in that department. Who led in all the categories. Here we go. Alright, so the passing leader this year is none other than Kyler Murray. Surprise, surprise. Kyler Murray wins that. Touchdown leader, I would say he won that. No, 97 touchdowns. God damn, 97. So he won that as well. Let's see who threw the most yards per game this year. Kyler Murray was number 1. Shout out to Brashaw for being number 2. Yes, sir. All right, so that's the quarterback. So Kyler Murray won. But that jumping is 99. God, there you go. And he's 6'5". Oh my God. He's gonna be a fucking problem next year. What's his weight? Is he under 215? All right, so obviously Kyler Murray won yards, touchdowns, and the most yards per game. Let's go to the running backs right now. Start with the carries first. Which one of these niggas done ran a guy into the graveyard all year? Yep, the new Craig. Craig, the little brother, done ran his running back into the graveyard this year. 443 fucking carries. That's a whole lot of carrying right now. But we don't care about the carries. We care about the production off those carries. And he led the league in rushing yards this year with 29-15. Shout out to young Raymond over there with Tremont Bass stepping up as one of the best running backs in the league. That was a battle between these two, and I think Shoguns lost that by giving a force one up. They had like 205. That sucks. Touchdowns though. Let's see who done that. Look like 46 touchdowns from Jaleel Ruggs. He's the touchdown leader. How about yards per rushing yards average per game? Tremont Bass had 171.5 yards a game. Who had the most broken tackles? Alright, so Tremont Bass 88. He gets that done. Alright, let's go to receivers. First thing we want to do is see who won the most catches, the reception awards. I think that goes to who else? J. Jawan Hudson. This one y'all thought that motherfucker wasn't around anymore. Look at him right back at it right now. That boy got him going. 113 yards wise though. Who won the yards? Nobody's done it better than him. 3,000. We haven't had a guy go over 2,000 like this, like over that mark and that 3,000 mark since J. Jawan Hudson did it and went over 4,000 a couple years ago. 3,337. He won that award. I would like to do this average yards per catch, but it's going to be some guys that had like 2 or 3 catches that might be for like look what this is what I mean by that. See, you got a guy that had 2 catches, you know what I mean, Chris Poole. But if you look at guys that were productive, Chris Poole is averaging 38.2 yards a catch. That's big time. How many yards wise? Average yards per game. Postman 196.3. Won that. Touchdown award race goes to Tian Pitts 40. Won that thing by 1. Sheldon Work was there, and 99 Reasons was there too. Alright, let's go look at see what happened on the defensive side of things. Who won that tackling award? Total tackles go to Devon Gaffney. Shout out to Bo and the the Rams. 145 tackles out of their linebacker. Good shit. Tackle for loss goes to, surprise, surprise, Ted Saragusa does it again. 36 tackle for loss. Sacks though on a year. 28 sacks by Jerry Cumberland. Almost got to that 30 mark. 19, 17 and a half, 17, 16 and a half. He's balling a little bit. AntHits, who led the league in that? Orlando Jordan, 15. King David had 14. Stearns had 14. Button had 13. Steve had 13. Devin White had 13. Najee Israel had 13. Rookie Chris Samuel had 13. God damn. Kai Fo had 12. And then the homeboy win this shit with 2 safeties. Good shit, bro. Who won the deflection game? Kerry Vincent Jr. with 14. Jalen Ramsey with 14. Steve Israel with 13. Anthony Israel with 13. Murphy with 12. Reeves Allen with 12. Alright. Who forced the most fumbles this year? Cuba Gooden Jr. forced 6 of them bitches. Touchdowns. There we go. Alright, Najee Israel have taken 5 INTs to the crib. Right behind him is his cousin Steve, took 4 to the crib. Prime Sanders, Keith David, and then you had your 2s. Alright, fella, that's your stats. That's your show. Alright, so if you were still on, pick the winner game in there. that tells me you were still on. You're not just going to get that pick the winner situation. I'm going to throw something at you too. Max will tally everything up. Every gift that I said I was going to give out, I will give out tomorrow before anybody play their games, because I want you guys to have y'all shit going into y'all playoff games. Other than that, I appreciate all y'all. We'll do another show tomorrow during lunchtime. Uh, but I appreciate all y'all rocking out from the first half of our league, right? First half of Game of Thrones. Last season right now, regular season, week 18. We're in a wild card round right now. This is the last regular playoff season for Game of Thrones. And then we go into the real draft league, which will take us into Madden 23. So I shout out to everybody that's still playing, that rock out with us. I do have a team available in the Chiefs, which I do have coaches already that's paid their money to play in the league already that I will bring in. So don't worry about that not being filled at all. We'll be all right. We do got spots in the 48-hour league, real draft 48-hour league, if you want to play in a league that, you know, advance every 2 days and not every day. Let us know. We got a couple teams over there. DM me. Let me know what's going on. Other than that, holla at y'all. Appreciate y'all.